And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers, almost at 300. So hit subscribe, watch, keep the comments coming, and share with a friend, because I'm going to say it a million times, the insanity doesn't stop. Let's talk about something insane. Trump held another dystopian cabinet meeting where everyone seemed to be praising Elon Musk, who by coinkydink happened to be wearing a Trump was right about everything, literally, Trump was right about everything MAGA hat. I mean, before we get into these clips, I want to talk about Trump's awareness of what is going on in his administration. Because in my video from this morning, I showed that during a presser, Trump claimed that he was unaware of the Atlantic article about the war group, the Operational War Plan chat on Signal. And during the presser, he also went on and ranted about corrupt law firms and voter IDs. Play the clip.
What's your message to the big corporate clients of the big law firms that you've targeted with your executive orders? Do you want those big corporate clients to find new lawyers?
I just think that the law firms have to behave themselves, and we've proven that. We have others that want to make a settlement also. They, having to do with the election and other things, they behave very badly, very wrongly, and I appreciate the one, these are the biggest firms, and they all came back realizing that they did wrong, and that's why they're doing this. So I just think they have to behave. We have to straighten out our country. We have to straighten out our elections. Our elections are very dishonest, very corrupt, and we have to straighten it out. And it's so easy to do it. And we should go to paper ballots. We should go to one-day voting. We should go to voter ID. And just one other thing, proof of a thing called citizenship in the United States. Wouldn't that be nice? How simple does that sound? Proof of citizenship, voter ID, one day.
And as you have MAGA Mike Johnson, yeah, absolutely, one day, paper ballot only. What about the people? What about the people who can't make it to the ballot box, whether they're too far or maybe because of their age? Meanwhile, he also speaks about the new tariffs that he's implemented on countries. There's a new one. It's big, who buy oil from Venezuela. No, he's putting a new tariff on any country who buys oil from Venezuela. Play that clip.
And for any country that does business
That's right.
with Venezuela.
If they buy their oil from Venezuela, they have to pay a 25% tariff to do business with the United States.
Is that on top of existing tariffs? So, for example, China buys
Yes,
a lot of oil.
that would be on top of existing.
45% tariff on China next week?
That's on top of existing tariffs, yes.
And so also next week, April 2nd, as you said, Liberation Day. Is that going to be sector tariffs as well as reciprocal tariffs?
It's going to be everything, yeah. It's going to be everything, but not all tariffs are included that day. For instance, we'll do some. As you know, we have already done steel and aluminum, and that's at a 25% level. And we are going to be doing automobiles, which you've known about for a long time. We'll be announcing that fairly soon, over the next few days probably. And then April 2nd comes. That'll be reciprocal tariffs. But we may take less than what they're charging because they've charged us so much. I don't think they could take it. In other words...
Yeah. I just want to remind you that, the gas station Citgo? Well, Citgo is actually owned by a fund. It's also owned by Petróleos de Venezuela, right? So all of Citgo will now be shutting down in the United States because they will have a secondary tariff. So adios, Citgo. Meanwhile, during this cabinet meeting, he seemed to actually, when discussing an issue, he seemed to have forgotten Usha Vance's name. Play the clip.
Were invited over there, and I thought it would be I have great respect for the wife of our great vice president. I think she's she's a brilliant woman. She's a very nice woman, and she loves the concept of Greenland, and so she's
Usha, boss. That's her name. USHA, Usha. Meanwhile, he rants about the fraud in our country, on and on and on. So the question becomes, why hasn't there been any criminal charges with all of this discovered fraud? I mean, isn't that what he would have me done in the past? If there was fraud, would they not already have brought some sort of a legal action? You got Pam Bondi there. Play the clip.
It's a pure fraud.
Yeah.
It's a fraud. But we've had many fraudulent contracts that were caught by the work that Elon and his people are doing and working with our people. It's been brought to light. The fraud, not just waste and abuse, the fraud has been incredible. You mentioned one, Madam Secretary.
Well, yes, sir. Well, let me.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. There's so much fraud. We have found so much fraud. I want to see somebody held accountable, right? Thank you for identifying it. Now go after the people who committed the fraud. Meanwhile, while all of this is going on, Trump continues to shit on America. Play the clip.
Better than that. We're doing it to help our country, and our country was riddled with fat, like no country probably anywhere in the world, and we're getting rid of the fat. And
right. Meanwhile, he goes on and he speaks about bringing manufacturing back to the United States. Play that clip.
You saw what happened today with Venezuela. We did something with Venezuela, which is long in the making, and it's very substantial. And we'll be announcing cars very shortly, and we already announced steel, as you know, and aluminum. We'll be announcing pharmaceuticals at some point in the not too distant, because we have to have pharmaceuticals. We don't make pharmaceuticals anymore in our country. And if we have problems like wars or anything else, we need steel, we need pharmaceuticals, we need aluminum, we need a lot of these things that we sort of don't make anymore, and yet we're equipped to do it all. So we'll be announcing some of these things in the very near future, not the long future, the very near future. And
actually, we do manufacture pharmaceuticals in this country. You know, when I was still involved with the first Trump administration, I worked very closely with Novartis. And one of the things I asked them to do was to reopen or to build a manufacturing plant. What we don't manufacture in terms of pharmaceuticals in this country are antibiotics. Most of those are manufactured in Mexico. Yes, in Mexico. But yes, we do manufacture pharmaceuticals in this country. It's an absolute inaccurate statement, once again thrown out to gaslight. Trump then, of course, sucks up to Elon, saying that Elon has actually never asked Trump for a single thing. Play the clip.
okay, I want to thank everybody very much. This was a great meeting. These are phenomenal people. We're lucky to have them. I have to tell you, I want to thank you all. And Elon, I want to thank you. I know you've been through a lot with this horrible situation that happens.
The cause,
That's right. Saving America.
It's very unfair. What he is a patriot. Here's a man that I can tell you, he's a friend of mine. He's become a friend of mine. He supported me in the election. That's when I got to know him. Really, I knew him a little bit from the first term, but not much. But he's a patriot more than anything else. Never think of it. He has never asked me for a thing. He could have. I always say, I wonder if he's ever going to ask me for something. And that's always subject to change. And if it does change, I'll let you know about it. But Elon has never asked me for a thing. I mean, I got rid of the electric car mandate. I have no idea how that affects him, but possibly not good. I don't know. But he's never asked me for a thing. And I think that's an amazing tribute. I did get activated last week when I saw what they were doing. I said, he makes an incredible product, and we're going to go out and tell people you can't do that stuff, and support him. They got to support him, because if he wasn't doing this, he wouldn't have any of these difficulties. And I think it's getting less and less. Pam has done a great job with regard to all of the, I mean, I know the kind of investment.
Boy, is there even an answer somewhere in that word vomit salad? Meanwhile, Trump calls the people defacing Teslas. Imagine this. And by the way, let me be clear. It's wrong. All right. The things that they're doing, the spray painting, the Molotov cocktailing of these Teslas and these dealerships, it's wrong. And I do not condone any of these actions. And those that do should absolutely 100% be indicted for this crime, and they should be incarcerated for it. But calling the people who deface Teslas terrorists, while the folks that storm the Capitol are merely hostages, patriots, and defendants, I got a problem with that too. Play the clip.
Found 4 of them. But I think they're going to suffer very grave consequences because they're really terrorists when you think about it. They're terrorists at a high level. And I think the people that are financing them, they could very well be people I know, people that you write about. But those people are in big trouble. So they better cut it out. But Elon's a patriot. We want to thank you very much for the job you're doing. Thank you very much.
Amazing, right? Meanwhile, Attorney General Pam Bondi, she also tried sucking up a little bit to Elon there, except she had a gaffe. She misspoke. And she actually said that she was going to prosecute him. Play the clip.
As far as we are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse, a lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you. We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level.
Yeah, we will prosecute you. Meanwhile, RFK joined the brown nosing, right? You know the difference between a brown nose and an ass kisser? It's called depth perception. So RFK clearly has some depth perception issues because he too thanked Elon for helping restore gold standard science. What hasn't this guy done? Play the clip.
None of them talking to each other. We are, with Elon's help, eliminating the redundancies. We are streamlining our department. We're going to go back to providing gold standard science. We're going to get the money to the scientists and to the patients rather than to the administrators and to the bureaucrats. And we're going to restore gold standard science, and we're going to make America healthy again.
Thank you very much. It's great.
You can't make this stuff up, right? As measles now, over 320 reported cases in Texas and 14 other states, not to mention polio back on the rise. That's all right. Keep doing what you're doing, Elon. The whole country will be fucked up. And finally, Fox News ended the coverage of the cabinet meeting as Elon tried to bring up how the Doge team is getting death threats. Play the clip.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Just trying to do the right thing for the American taxpayer and for the American people.
All right, Ed. Let me be very clear about something, Elon, if I may, because I know I'm just another lowly American. I'm not part of your, uber billionaire class, but I do have some good advice for you. First and foremost, when they call the meeting ended, when the president of the United States ends a meeting, all right, you don't continue talking. I know you can't help yourself for whatever's going on inside that brain of yours, right? When the president ends the meeting, it's over. Just take that advice from little old me. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.